Before you blame stress, thyroid, or aging, let's talk about progesterone. In today's video, we are going to go over all things progesterone. I'm going to ask Patrick the top 20 things that have been Google searched, and you'll get to know a little bit more about progesterone. I did a video last week, which I'll put in the description, and I gave my opinion on progesterone and my personal experience on progesterone. And I think it's a hormone that we don't talk about enough, and it really can change a lot for people if you understand it a little better and if it's something that you add into your routine. So I'm here at the golf course. It's a beautiful day in Spokane, Washington, and we are going to go find Dr. Love. Okay, Dr. Love, what does progesterone actually do?
Well, progesterone has a lot of different roles in the body. I think you could argue what Ray Peat says is that progesterone is one of the main anti-stress compounds in the body. So most things that age the body also stress the body, and progesterone being an anti-stress tool helps decrease aging processes and creates more cellular resilience. Does all-encompassing, but it's really active in the brain, and obviously from PMS to menopause it's useful. Fertility, pregnancy, injuries, arthritis. So
What are the first signs of low progesterone?
a lot of times cramping, pain, anxiety, sleep disruption, insomnia, certainly PMS, infertility for women are all going to be signs you might be low.
Can low progesterone cause anxiety?
Yes, primarily because you don't have enough progesterone to counter estrogens. Estrogen's likelihood of triggering anxiety, and progesterone being an anti-stress hormone, so you're not going to handle stress as well if you don't have adequate progesterone, and even your adrenal reserves can be compromised without adequate progesterone.
Can progesterone help you sleep?
Probably one of its most well-known features is it helps you sleep, and can fix insomnia.
Why does progesterone drop after having a baby?
There's such a large surge during pregnancy that the drop in progesterone after that is what some postpartum issues are about. And then if you're not nutritionally, don't have enough protein and aren't adequate nutrition, your body may not be able to make enough. And if you're under more stress, you can deplete the rest of your progesterone.
Can low progesterone make it hard to lose weight?
Progesterone, again, because a lot of weight loss problems are stress related. The body's just under too much stress, so it's in that kind of survival mode. So progesterone in that sense can help. Yes.
What's the difference between progesterone and estrogen?
They're kind of opposite ends of the spectrum of the teeter-totter, so you need both. I argue you always want to be in a progesterone dominant state, not estrogen. So that's what we kind of evaluate.
Can you have normal periods but still have low progesterone?
You would be more likely to have some PMS symptoms if you were low in progesterone. But you can still have cycles with low progesterone.
Then how does progesterone affect fertility?
Fertility benefits of progesterone in like the 80s, and so she found that was the main preserver of a pregnancy is progesterone, and lots of cases of infertility were resolved with progesterone.
Can low progesterone cause miscarriages?
Yes, the most common probably issue with preserving pregnancy would be a miscarriage, and overcoming those issues. Some of that's about blood flow, and there are clotting issues, but progesterone, encountering the estrogen dominant state, can be very protective of preventing miscarriages.
So you mentioned progesterone and PMS. Can progesterone help with PMS, and how?
Progesterone will relieve a lot of the cramping, sensations. A lot of the mood issues can be relieved with progesterone, a lot of the sleep issues. So anxiety is a common PMS symptom, and progesterone is great for anxiety. So most of the symptoms could potentially be relieved by progesterone.
Okay, is progesterone the same as progestin?
No, big difference between synthetic progesterone and bioidentical. You really only want to use bioidentical. In fact, synthetic may act as an anti-progesterone in all reality.
Can progesterone improve mood?
A lot of that daily tension that's held and tightness in the body can be resolved with progesterone. And anxiety, and when you sleep better, a lot of the times your mood is better, and when you have more energy and less stress cellularly, then your mood has improved. So in an indirect way, it definitely does.
And what foods support healthy progesterone levels, if any?
You definitely need adequate protein and typically adequate carbohydrates also help. And so good whole foods, animal-based nutrition. A lot of the chemicals that are in non-organic foods and the pesticides and plastics that are out there are all estrogen mimickers. So we want to avoid those to optimize our progesterone.
And can stress lower progesterone?
Yeah, stress lowers progesterone kind of through different feedback loops. And stress tends to be driven more estrogen driving. And if your thyroid is reduced from stress, that contributes to low progesterone. So stress tends to end up in an adrenally depleted state and progesterone depleted state.
When should progesterone be tested?
Progesterone could probably be tested as soon as any sort of symptom arises in the body, any sort of imbalance or disease, but certainly any PMS symptoms or menopause, it should be tested, and likely before pregnancies.
What happens to progesterone during perimenopause?
Yeah, during menopause or perimenopause or menopause, progesterone's typically the hormone that dips first the most. Your estrogen can hold a little longer, so now you're in an estrogen dominant state. So usually it will lower, and that can lead to menopausal like symptoms.
Are there natural ways to support progesterone?
Just again, adequate nutrition, adequate thyroid function, adequate sleep is going to help your progesterone. The most good fats, not bad fats, seem to boost progesterone, avoiding polyunsaturated fats. I haven't found that there are some herbs that will boost progesterone a little, like Vitex or chasteberry. but it's not always reliable. So there are some herbs that can boost progesterone.
How do you know if progesterone therapy is right for you?
Well, progesterone therapy is safe enough that you can just try it. Again, if you have any of the signs or symptoms of being low, and you can also measure it in your blood or urine or saliva. Yeah, probably one of the most important things to optimize as a woman is your progesterone levels, especially in this kind of 21st century modern stressful lifestyle. But it's also for men, and men can make progesterone too and have some relief sometimes from pain, and it benefits the urinary system and large prostates in men. And for concussions, we know that high dose progesterone, men or women, is really useful. So men need to pay attention to it as well. But for women, it's probably one of the number one things you can have monitored.
If you've been struggling with these symptoms or you've been curious about progesterone, now is the time to ask your health practitioner or whoever's helping you on your health journey about adding progesterone to your routine. We hope you like this video. We will see you next week. We're going to dive into estrogen. We are going to be diving into estrogen and asking Dr. Patrick Love all he knows about estrogen. So please like, subscribe, and share this video, and we will see you next week.